Greetings, welcome to the Prime Directive. I'm your host, Jeffico. My co-host is always Chris. Say hi, Chris.
Hello.
So, Chris, it seems you figured out the solution to this episode like a minute in.
Yeah, I caught this immediately, but that's fine. It's bioelectrical. Hey, I wonder if we can charge.
Yeah.
Just plug right into that.
Any overall thoughts of this?
I thought this was probably not my favorite of the ones so far. Still good. But for the episode where we're solving all the problems, I don't know, it felt maybe a little slow.
Yeah.
Still liked it, but any issues I have are definitely nitpicky.
A little by the numbers, a little predictable. Like,
yeah, I
here's
definitely...
a speech that's gonna lead to the solution.
Yeah, and even like all the flashbacks were just so on the nose. It was just...
I thought it was funny. I was just
a
like,
bit much.
Yeah, that's why Picard doesn't go into town to the bar, because like cadets are just swarming him all the time.
There's cadets everywhere. Why did I have to live in San Francisco?
Yeah, I really like the reveal at the end, though, of Jack being there.
Mm-hmm. That was kind of interesting, but again, super on the nose.
Yeah. Well, I mean, that's the speech. Like, everything Picard said there is, like, handed down from, like, retired captain to retired captain. Be like, oh, they're going to come up to you all the time.
Yep.
You're going to just repeat these things, like, family, Starfleet, working together.
Yeah.
Like,
teamwork makes the dream work.
Yeah, exactly. This episode starts off, they're dead in the water. Riker's still upset, but he realizes, like, you were right, I'm upset about the death of my son, which, season 1, like, issue there, because, like, hey, you guys were kind of happy on that planet together.
Yeah, they were making pizza. I don't know, maybe he was just putting a brave face on.
Yeah, it's possible. I mean, Riker's arc in this episode alone, or even the first 4 episodes, is interesting, because it's like, yeah, he left because Deanna feels everything, and he's feeling nothing right now. But, like, they went to that planet to, like, because it has a healing property for his kid, because it can't use the android parts. And then I guess it just stayed there, and they're raising their kid there, and it's a very safe life, a very comfortable life. But it's like, he's very afraid of risk.
Yeah. Which
you see in these 4 episodes. He doesn't want to take any risk. But we should just stay here and die. We shouldn't take this risk to leave.
Yeah, that was just dumb.
And then on top of that, like, he didn't know what to say to Deanna for the longest time. He couldn't record a message. So yeah, I'd say the only thing I didn't like was we should stay here. Starfleet protocol says wait for rescue. And
nobody knows you're here, dude.
Yeah. that was my only fault for Riker on that one. The rest was pretty interesting.
This cannot work. The wave's rolling right over the ship. We need to somehow sustain contact.
Yes, we need to move with the waves.
We divert all power to thrusters.
Beverly's, counting down.
Yeah.
I like that she started at 7 after we just saw 7.
Yeah, very cute. Good little bit.
She's realizing it's contractions for a space organism.
That seemed like a bit of a stretch, but yeah, the point was that it was regular and predictable.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, if anybody's going to catch that, it's going to be the doctor, not the Titan doctor. She's ignorant.
No. She can't figure out people are bleeding.
Yeah. No, the scans didn't show anything. He's dead. Speaking of dead, like, 7's on that changeling hunt. And when that, like, dude shoots that other person, she's just like, oh, medical down here, we got a dead person. They're like, you saw him get shot. Like, you don't know she's dead.
Maybe maybe stun and kill look different. Like, one of them leaves a wound and the other one just stuns you.
Hey, when they were disintegrating changelings, it didn't disintegrate in this one for some reason.
Yeah,
I did like what it happened to the eyes.
Yeah.
The eyes are creepy. Kill a changeling, his eyes go nuts. That's cool. But yeah, so now she enters the transporter ensign's room and she's searching around, finds its body.
Finds Odo's bucket.
Yeah, well, she didn't find that right away. But
but she found that later.
Yeah, she got the advice from Shaw, who is sharpening his knife.
Yeah.
Which is how we meet him in 12 Monkeys, sharpening his knife.
I really need to watch this show, apparently. This is just
There's
12 Monkeys.
Footage in Jack's flashes that I'm just like, that could literally be the city in red, like, from 12 Monkeys.
Jack!
already know what that is, but we'll get there. I know exactly what that is. Yeah. She's going to Shaw for advice, which is more Shaw stuff is always fun.
He's like, I like watching this character and this actor.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's great because he's just like, oh, if you're hunting a changeling, like, you know, you can't do this, but what you can do is like talk to them, and then they won't remember certain things because they aren't that person. But like, you know, you already know this kind of stuff because you're gonna make a great captain one day and all that. And that's what I would say if I was.
Don't come. Don't come. Bang up job your heroes are doing with my ship. Love the view.
Can we talk?
Officially, no.
Unofficially?
No.
Picard takes his son to the bar, which any good father does.
Yeah.
He's like, I didn't understand. I like cheap whiskey on the rocks. Like, why cheap? Have you tried expensive whiskey? Because that shit would be that much better.
He just wants to feel the burn. Like, yeah.
He wants the punishment. He's all about punishing himself. I get it. And we learn that like they use the holodeck as kind of a sanctuary. It's got its own power source.
I thought that was a dumb explanation, but it makes total sense for the holodeck to have an independent power source so that when it inevitably goes to hell, you can just yank the power source. Like, just physically remove it.
I think it's a good idea, but like you should reinforce the holodeck so that like everybody just get on the holodeck. It can replicate its own air, its own food, its own like everything. And then like when they come for rescue, like, oh, there's this cube, that's the holodeck. And they open it up and be like, oh my god, orgy. They're like, hey, we were alone for a long time and bored. Now it says you were alone for 10 minutes. It's the holodeck. What do you think we do here?
Yeah. Standard holodeck.
Yeah. We all drank at Picard's bar and then
Things got out of hand.
Sir, is this private?
No. Please, come in.
Come on, it's okay.
Any way you like.
So Shaw shows up, and I don't know if you caught this, but he gives his Robert Shaw speech from Jaws.
Okay.
You ever watch Jaws?
For very long time ago.
Well, Shaw's the captain that was based on a true story of the Indianapolis. And they're like, 50 sailors went into the water and only like 10 made out or whatever. Which is pretty much the same numbers Shaw was saying.
There's a Tragically Hip song that does the same thing as well.
Yeah.
10 only.
Cool. And he got picked.
Yeah.
He's just like, and then some stupid lieutenant came down, just started pointed at me. Some dipshit from Chicago. And
It's got hardcore survivor's guilt.
Yeah, I was just gonna say that. And like you can like I really enjoyed like watching like especially like a rewatch or whatever is like you can see it in his face each thing that's going on when Picard like excuses himself and is like no that's all right, like he feels a bit like shit for doing that. For bringing it up, and he even apologizes to people watching, saying, "Oh, asshole became a substitute for charm and all that." But like, you see everything like in a rewatch. Like, Picard's like, "Oh, you ever been here before?" And Jack's like, "No," and he like looks down, and he's just like, "Yeah, you have."
We didn't fight over who should live and who should die. We waited for orders, and then finally, some lieutenant comes down, and she just starts barfing.
Do you like revisit to the Borg, Wolf 359?
I was kind of hoping we'd get a little bit of a footage of it, like maybe see a modern interpretation of that battle, but we just stuck with the stories.
Yeah, well, I mean, the way he was telling it, like he didn't see shit really. He was just in his engineering cubbyhole, and yeah, we got the little Jack Crusher story about them going to bang some Orion chicks or some chicks or whatever on some planet.
Just assuming they're Orion.
Yeah. I think you might have actually said it was something else, but so they stole a shuttle from the Stargazer. I guess they were both lieutenants at the time or something.
Maybe, yeah.
Then they got stuck and they had to work together and cut off life support and docking thrusters and back and forth and inch their way back.
Yeah, a little bit of shuttle pod one.
That was the worst scrape he's ever been in.
I
watched 7 seasons. I'm pretty sure there were other ones.
I think he just wanted to tell a story to his kid.
How about Desert Planet with Wesley?
Yeah.
And holographic shield over water.
It's about your brother that you've never met.
Yeah.
Play him on that.
Yeah, exactly. I'm sure Beverly's told him.
Yeah.
I saw Will Wheaton talking to him, be like, "Space brother."
The nacelle covers are designed to prevent the plasma conduits from absorbing too much radiation. So, if we could manually open them.
They basically get together, talk in the ready room, which I really like, is right behind. You can see the bridge. And they're just like, "Hey, we're gonna have to use the thrusters at max and absorb this, and it should give us power and this and that." And they're just like, "Okay, well, engineering's really busy." So Shaw, you used to be a grease monkey.
Yeah, right? And I even called that too. I'm just like, surely they have an engineer. If they don't, they can just use Shaw. And
I like,
Shaw.
alright, so yeah, like, he's hobbling around, but like, he could totally just go back and take command of his ship if he wanted to, but I guess he's sticking to like, "Nah, you get me out of this."
Yeah.
Like, I'm washing my hands clean. You got me in, you get me out. I'll just be drinking in my quarter, sharpening knives.
Yeah.
So they're just like, "Oh yeah, like, you go down there, it's been like 20 years, half these kids don't know shit." Like, yeah, they were never trained on everything in engineering.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, but I saw Julian with the basic engineering course, like hot wire shit.
Oh, yeah.
So, yeah, Shaw's down there, and they had a plan off screen, Chris.
And if there's a plan off screen, it always works. And that's one of my favorite TV tropes.
Yeah, I like the shots. It's like, if I was a changeling, this is probably the most important thing happening right now. It'd probably kill us. And then, my girl, LaForge, goes down there. And she's all like, "My dad is an engineer, the best
good one.
engineer.
Yeah.
I think I can help."
One nacelle cover is open now. If only one nacelle is exposed, we'll be able to fly but not utilize warp. Am I correct?
Yeah, why?
Turn around.
Good on the changeling for knowing that, because it's obvious information, but like, that's a good point. She should know some shit. However, she should also be piloting the fucking ship.
Yeah, there was also, like, Seven didn't have to do that. She could have just been like, "Hey, 7 to bridge, who's up there?"
Well, it's not necessarily gonna take a bridge crew member. Like, it could be anybody.
Well, I mean, she knows who's...
Like, "Hey,
she knows she's supposed to be on
engineering
the bridge.
freed me up. I can make it down here now." Like,
Yeah.
I don't know how quickly a changeling can do voices. I guess it got really good in DS9 because, like, when they were infiltrating Starfleet Academy, they were just jumping people pretty quick.
I mean, there was that one DS9 episode with the changeling that had, like, he's like the ascended changeling, and he'd spent his whole life training to turn into things, and he could be fire and stuff, and it's like, if you can be fire, you can figure out some voices.
I still like Sisko's dad when he's freaking out about the blood checks, and he's just like, "If I was one of those bastards, I would just absorb one of the fucking people and drink all their blood, and then whenever I need to spit it out, there it is."
Yeah, you could.
Yeah.
It'd be kind of old blood, though, because it wouldn't be living.
Yeah, well, maybe you could build veins and circulate it in your own changeling body, Chris.
Maybe you could.
What do you think about the bucket? Got to see Odo.
Yeah, we got to see a picture of Odo.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's the same bucket. They all have the same bucket. It's the standard issue changeling bucket.
Yeah, I saw people crying about that on Twitter there. Just be like, you don't know the story. You don't know what station he was on. You don't know where they all came out of the wormhole. The door's right there.
Yeah. Maybe, like, the guy probably knows who Odo is. Maybe it's just like, "Dude, check out my retro Odo bucket that I got. It's dope as shit." They'll be like, "Oh yeah, we all love Odo, dude. You got an Odo bucket." Like, maybe that's what it is.
It's actually autographed.
Yeah.
The Constable. Right when we're piloting out, and Jack just jumps on one of the panels or whatever, and it's just like reading out the coordinates of the asteroids, which
it was very the booby trap episode.
Yeah,
it was that kind of deal.
My contact sensors are down.
Jack, call out their positions.
Contact. 7,000 kilometers, bearing 224 Mark 5.
We didn't get anything from Worf or Raffi.
Not complaining?
Not
complaining.
It was just the A story with the Titan there that we're wrapping up. So I assume we're going to be probably meeting up with them pretty soon.
Yeah. I like at the end, it's like, "Are you and Picard in trouble?" And he's like,
"Maybe.
Who cares? What are they going to do? Bust me down? I'm semi-retired anyways."
Yeah.
You don't bust them down if you make Picard a captain again.
Yeah.
He's just gonna save the universe again.
Keep saving the universe.
Yeah. I mean, right now this is probably the first time they've gotten in trouble where they haven't saved the universe, but by the end, they will have. We had a communication with Vadic where she cut her hand off.
And her hand was goo.
Yeah.
And the goo in this show looks so much more fleshy and distressing than just like the solid brown or silver
I liked it.
or whatever.
I liked it when it went into the wall and Seven like refused to keep shooting it.
Yeah.
I also like that just brings me back to Sisko's dad. Is like, I want to see it absorb into somebody. Like, just suddenly somebody gets like taken over by the goo. Like,
the
flashbacks
goo
to the blob.
Is very uncomfortable looking when it's moving around, and I like that.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So like, the weird demon face that was talking to Vadic. Is all like, hey, like, oh no, you got to go get Jack. I don't care how dangerous it is. Toss your portal weapon away, which they did.
Yeah.
Goodbye, portal weapon. You were fun.
Apparently, it wasn't that important.
Yeah.
Apparently.
It was fun though.
Yeah. I should go replay those games.
Yeah. I should play them for the first time.
Oh, dude, have you not?
No.
Okay, we're fixing that immediately.
I don't think we are. Yeah, but he's just like, oh yeah, you're expendable, your ship's expendable, your people are expendable. I'll be like, her people? I mean, they do speak different languages behind those masks. But like, who are they? We don't know.
I think they're just changelings.
Oh no. Why would they speak a different language?
I guess, maybe. I mean, the changelings that we were... At the very first episode, Bev was shooting changelings that were boarding the ship.
Yeah. Those weren't changelings. Those were the same people. They had the masks.
Those were goo. She shot them and they turned into goo residue.
Disintegrated somebody.
Yeah.
Yeah, did you look? I went back and I looked and actually grabbed the footage side by side because I was like, oh, Chris made this point. I'm going to show it visually and see if he was right. And it didn't quite match, Chris.
Really?
So I'm just like, well, I'm not going to
was
bother
totally
that.
assuming those were changelings. Okay, all right. I guess we'll find out
no
for sure
guarantee.
later, but sure, all right.
Well, they don't have enough changelings to be using them as foot soldiers all the time.
I guess. Maybe.
The cell's funneling power to the core. The warp drive's coming back online in 90 seconds.
At the end of the episode, Jack's like looking in the mirror and this thing's like...
And we do the first contact scene with the same stink and washing your face. And
well, you know, people don't think people use the washroom in Star Trek, but they do. And he's hearing a female voice, come find me. First thought, God of Shockery. I was like, oh, come find me, Sidewalk. But this time, no, it's Jack. But then, like, we get all the freaky red foresty stuff and the red door and all that. And I'm just like, okay, like, you guys tipped your hat. I knew there was an episode in season 7 that's going to be very prominent involved in this. And it's Sub Rosa. It is the reverse. It is a red candle. It is a female anaphasic ghost. And it's following Beverly's line and going after Jack. Yeah. 100%. That's it.
Okay, so Beverly's line had the candle ghost, but Jack Crusher's line also had a candle ghost, and it was just a coincidence. And now they got the one kid, and it's like both the ghosts have to fight over.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's not Jack Crusher's kid. It's Picard's, but...
Yeah, but it's fine.
I mean, if Wesley had to deal with it, sure, but... Wesley's like, showing us future, you can become a traveler, I mean, do some silly little scene in season 2, or you can deal with this ghost thing that's gonna kill you in the end. Like, I'll travel with it.
I come back for you, don't you remember? I came to you last night while you were asleep. I love you, just as I loved Felisa before you. I am a spirit. Was born in 1647 in Glasgow on Earth.
That's my theory.
Okay, that's a great theory, Jeff.
Hey, it's better than people that just keep going, this guy's a changeling, this guy's a changeling. I'm like, really?
I think this guy's 2 changelings. Like, there's 2 changelings that sort of squished together, and they're that guy.
Worf's gonna find out his battless at changing.
Yeah, exactly.
Hey, if Raffi turns out to be a changeling, we have to kill her. I'm okay with that. Final thought, me, Chris.
Final thoughts. Yep, good episode. Not my favorite so far, but yeah, still good stuff. I'm excited to see what we do with all the rest of this Like, I'm really into this Changeling plot arc and figuring out where this goes. We'll see how Moriarty and Lore fit into this. When am I going to see my man Geordi? Let's keep going. Excited for next week.
Yeah, basically, like, I'm just waiting for everything to unfold, and it's doing it nicely. This felt like a good Trek episode.
Mm-hmm.
This felt like very Star Trek.
Mm-hmm.
I will complain about the lighting. Even this version, because I watched the original version that came out, and the director's like, oh, they keep up on saturation, it's dark. Even this version, that's the improved version, I'm looking at the bridge and I'm just like, I can barely see the red on Riker's shoulders. You guys need to lighten the fuck up. Like, I'm sorry, but when you can't see two different colors on a uniform, it's too dark.
As much as we give the new movies shit for looking like, the Apple Store.
Yeah.
Like, it's bright white lights looked great. Like, that's a much more reasonable space to work in than the dark, dreary nonsense.
Well, you look at TNG and all the computer consoles, and it's just like, yep, you're in a bright room, you see the lights or whatever, and, like, you deal with that. You look at this one, and it's like, the second you, like, leave, you close your eyes, you're gonna get that glowing burn in your lights. like, yeah, the bridge shouldn't be that dark.
Yeah.
Like, relax here.
Yeah.
I know that times this was power, but it wasn't earlier, and it's still dark.
Yeah.
All right, guys. Well, as always, let's all look forward to that candle storyline, and we'll see you next week. Thanks for watching.